What's up, people? This is Chef Ed Harris. I want to talk to you about a challenge that I'm giving myself. I want to basically share the ins and outs with you when it comes to launching a seasoning and a spice line, right? I feel like, there's a lot of information out there, but there's not really good information out there. So I want to take you on a journey of how it is to actually launch a spice line or a seasoning line, right? I've launched over 50 different products. I've helped people launch products. So when it comes to production, scaling, distribution, consulting, fulfillment, logistics, all of that, like I'm going to share all of these different things with you. All right. So stay with me while we go through this for the next 90 days. I'm basically going to share with you specific topics and just insider information on what it actually is to launch and to, start a brand, right? Create a new product, create a new line of seasoning, a new line of spices, right? So the first one I wanted to touch on was, why do brands fail before they actually even launch? And you really want to pay attention to getting the right information, right? Making sure that there is actually a want or a need for that line of seasonings and spices that you're about to launch, right? Don't just say, oh, I want to start a seasoning line and then just try to put something out. Like there has to actually be a need and a want for it, because if you think about it, there's a million different spice companies already out there. Like anyone can just go to the supermarket and buy their own seasonings or buy their own spices. So what makes yours so special that they would want to buy it, right? And then you have to think about price margins. You have to think about inventory. Like there's a whole bunch of different things that go into that. So you really want to do your due diligence and you really want to pay attention to the why of why you're launching this brand, right? It's like people that have the money and, they're like, oh, let me open up a restaurant and don't really know anything about a restaurant. Like it's, you're putting yourself in a situation, right? So it's the same thing with launching a spice line. Like you might cook and you might say, oh, my food tastes really good. Let me bottle up these seasonings and let me sell it. But you have to make sure that there's people waiting for you to launch this. There's people that are asking you, when are you going to launch these seasonings? These are the notes and the things that you need to take note of that will alert you that you do have a viable product, right? Like if no one's beating down your door asking you to come out with a seasoning line because they taste your food and they love it so much, or you don't have any kind of backing of why this would work, then you really need to go back to the drawing board and figure out, is this something that you can do? And do you have the time? Do you have the money? Do you have the resources to invest in it? Right? Because depending on how you go about this and how you approach it, you can end up with a bunch of inventory that you can't move. And then therefore they expire, right? You run out of money because you couldn't sell the product that you created. The startup cost to getting up to that point was so tremendous that you now are stuck with inventory that you can't move. So there's a lot of things that you need to think about. So as long as you have a really strong enough why, as long as you are able to come up with a really good reason of why you should have a seasoning line, then you're in a better place to not fail. All right. So make sure you check out my next video tomorrow, right? Where we're going to talk about something else when it comes to the seasoning business and just the line and just how and what that entails. All right. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about stories. We're going to exchange information in terms of the things that happened to me launching my line, the different ups and downs, the pitfalls, all that good stuff. We're going to share all of that information. All right. So if you are interested in launching your own line of seasoning and spices, sauces, anything like that, like a consumer product, then you definitely want to stick around and check out this series that I'm going to be doing. All right. for the next 90 days, it's going to be information for you, the person that is ready to launch your own line. All right. This is Chef Ed, and I will catch you tomorrow.